Carvana, the heavenly car buying experience, right? This time on G-Reviews, I tell you about my experience and how it might not be so easy. This time on G-Reviews. Thanks so much for watching. You ever get that feeling that you're just looking at Auto Trader every single day after work? Well, that's how I've been feeling for probably the last year. And finally I decided on a truck on Carvana, and I'm going to tell you today all about my experience. So as I mentioned, for probably the last year I've been looking at trucks. I've been looking at F-150s, Silverados, Titans. I've test drove them all. I've reviewed pretty much all of those on the channel so far. And, you know, it's almost like an addiction. Like, you literally every single day, you look at Auto Trader, you look at prices, you compare models, all that kind of stuff. And I finally pulled the trigger on a 2018 Crewmax Tundra TRD Sport in the blazing blue pearl color. I absolutely love that color, and I'm very happy with the decision. However, like I said, today I'm going to talk about my experience with Carvana, how it was, some of the things that they don't really advertise that weren't so good, and I'm going to also give you my my link if you want $500 off your purchase. I'll go ahead and tell you all about that later on in the video. So, it really didn't even occur to me to even look into Carvana, honestly, until I probably saw like 10 advertisements for Carvana. So I went ahead and, you know, pulled up Carvana, you know, looked around, and the prices were actually very competitive with, you know, other dealers. I didn't like the fact that you couldn't haggle though, so that was kind of a big thing for me up front, and also the fact, obviously, you can't see the thing before you buy it. However, I do real estate as well, and I've purchased properties without seeing them, so I figured, a vehicle is a lot less money than a property, so I figured, you know, what the heck, and they also have the 7-day return policy. So I went ahead and called Carvana a couple times just to kind of talk through, you know, how the 7-day policy works and things like that. Like I said, I will get through that, you know, toward, like I said, the end of the video. So anyway, I went with Carvana because of the 7-day return policy, had lots of good reviews. They also give you a 100-day warranty, 4,000-mile warranty on pretty much bumper to bumper, so if anything goes wrong in that first 100 days, you have that as well. So they give you a couple of protections, but the biggest thing for me was my trade-in value of my Corolla. And I had a 2016 Corolla L, which is the bottom line, manual. There's not even a beep beep on the remote. It's literally just an old school key manual, super basic car. We bought that car for about 13 grand 2 years ago with about 13,000 miles on it. We just sold it to Carvana for about 11.5 with 42,000 miles on it. So we lost like $1,000 or $1,500 in 2 years. So they were about $1,500 more than anywhere else I've taken the car. Most of them wanted to give me $8,500, $9,000, $9,500 was the highest offer that I had gotten so far. So again, Carvana beat out the competition as far as the trade-in value. So again, another reason I said, you know what, let's go with Carvana. So after pulling trigger on November 22nd of this year, the next day they got in touch with me, and, you know, a Carvana associate kind of just told me about the process, how it's going to work, what kind of financing I'm going to use. I went with Bank of America. I did not use Carvana's financing because Bank of America was about 0.5% less expensive. So I went with that, and honestly that might have caused a couple of the kind of just back and forth. From that point on, my first delivery... Yes, I just said first delivery. ...was scheduled to be December the 1st. From November 22nd, like I said, I purchased the vehicle on November 22nd. The next day they call me, they let me know, hey, you know, because it's Thanksgiving week, it might take a little bit longer. You know, I'm trying to get the financing through for Bank of America. So I went back and forth between Bank of America and Carvana quite a few times. It's kind of like a mediator. I didn't think that was really that smooth, to be honest with you. It could have been better, but again, like I said, probably because I got outside financing. If I had just gone with Carvana's financing, it might have been a bit easier. Maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, between going back and forth, also, every 3 days, you have to re-sign contracts. Every 72 hours, if you don't purchase the car, if you don't get it delivered, you have to re-sign all the contracts, because if you don't, they're going to release it to other people to purchase. I mean, again, from the time I ordered it on the 22nd to the time it actually got delivered was almost 2 weeks. So you can see I had to sign the contracts, you know, quite a few times, 4 to 5 times in that time frame. So that was kind of a pain. But anyway, so that's not, like I said, that's not really the worst part. Again, it was kind of smooth up to this point, but so the morning of, right, the morning of the delivery, December 1st, it was scheduled to be delivered for 10:30 in the morning. I get a call the morning of at 10:20 a.m., so 10 minutes before the truck's supposed to be at my house. And mind you, the facility is 45 minutes away, so they were going to be late regardless of what they did at this point. So I was already a little mad. It was the day I was supposed to be working, and I had meetings, so I didn't want to miss meetings, etc. So the driver calls me up. She tells me she's uncomfortable with loading the truck onto the flatbed. Now, mind you, this is a Carvana driver. This is what they do for a living. And she said she is uncomfortable with loading my Tundra onto her flatbed truck. She said it's a big truck. She's never done something that big before. She said, I would feel more comfortable if you came and pick it up. I said, I'm not paying for that. I'm not driving all the way over there. Deliver it to me. That's what I paid for. That's what, the service that I want, okay? So anyway, she said, okay, I'll have someone help me, blah, blah, blah. 2 hours later, 12:30, this is 2 hours after she was supposed to get to my house, she pulls up, beautiful truck on the Tundra. Here's a picture of, or here's a little movie of it coming around the corner. Oh, man. Here it comes. Woo, look at that. And then here's a picture of what happens next. So she pulls up in front of my house, and she's on the phone. She's on the phone with someone. She's frantically looking for something. She goes in the front seat, the back seat. She looks in the bed of the truck. She looks all around the flatbed. She tells me, I have some bad news. I've lost the keys. So here we go again. She lost the keys. It's like Santa Claus losing the keys to his sleigh. He shows up on Christmas Eve night. Oh, I forgot. I can't give you all these presents. I forgot the keys. I lost the keys. So anyway, I'm a little mad at this point, obviously. Very frustrated because, I've already waited quite a few times. I've signed the contracts quite a few times. And now it's finally here. And now I can't even take delivery of it because she lost the keys. But she also tells me that she's done this before. Not a good feeling at all. I was like, oh, this isn't good. She says she probably is going to have to make a copy of it and bring it back tomorrow. So I said, okay, fine. Not the end of the world. I don't need the truck. I work from home anyway. So later the day, I call up Carvana, tell them what happened. They told me, the driver told them that I didn't show up. So it was an emergency. I couldn't show up. So the driver lied to the manager, basically telling the manager that I was the reason that the truck didn't get delivered. I told him she lost the keys because I have photographic evidence and I have video evidence of the truck being in my front yard, and I'm there. So anyway, so that's, probably strike number maybe 2. First one was losing the keys. Second thing is the driver lied to the manager, saying that I wasn't there. So that was the first thing. So also in that conversation, they told me because I told them that she lost the keys, she said that the typical process is we're going to get you a copy, not an original, a copy, locksmith to come and give you a copy of the key, and we're going to deliver it with the truck tomorrow. So the truck's only going to be delivered with one temporary key. And with temporary keys and the chips in trucks these days and vehicles, I was like, oh my God, this thing's going to be a nightmare. And then they said within the next few days, 72 hours, they're going to send me one original key. So they didn't say anything about a second key. I said, what about a second key? They're like, all right, so you're going to have to go to the Toyota dealership, you're going to pay for the key, and then you're going to have our warranty company, Silverado, reimburse you. This is a brand new vehicle that I'm just purchasing, and now they're telling me I have to do all these steps to just to get the truck how it should have come in the first place. I'm pissed at this point. So that's what they tell me. They tell me they're going to deliver the truck the next day, December 2nd, okay? So go to bed a little mad, but I'm a little excited to get the truck on December 2nd. Next morning, calls me up. The driver, it's a different driver this time, calls me up. Again, 10:30 is supposed to be my delivery time. He calls me at 10:27, so 3 minutes before again. So it's going to be late again. The driver tells me he was getting in the truck, but he wanted to make sure it would start before. Truck wouldn't start. Truck wouldn't start? It's a brand new truck. I thought you guys have a 150-point inspection. You'd think the battery would be one of those things that they check. But I guess not. So anyway, so they tell me that the truck doesn't start. Like I said, I'm very mad. I'm even more mad. Strike number 3 or 4, I'm not sure. And then also, I wouldn't get the registration until like a week later because their registration lady is like out of the office for the next 3 days or something. I'm like, wow, this really seems like kind of like a cockamamie operation they're running over there. So very frustrated, like pissed, really, really mad. I call Carvana. I ask for the manager. I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone other than the manager. So I speak with her. She's very kind, very courteous, professional. Luckily, she tells me they found the original keys. So that's, I mean, again, but I'm taking everything with a grain of salt at this point. She says they found the original keys. They're going to have a mechanic look at the truck, see why it's not starting. About 3 p.m. that day on December 2nd, she calls me up, says the battery was replaced. It was the battery, the truck starts fine, and one of the keys needs to be reprogrammed. So I said, okay. She apologizes for the whole process. It's been terrible up to this point, and it was really bad. I mean, I was this close to just canceling the whole thing. Like, I'm like, if the process has been this bad this far, I can't imagine what the warranty process is going to be like, how much of a pain in the butt that's going to be. I was very close to just canceling the whole thing, but my wife reminded me I have the 7 days to return the truck. And actually, as of this shooting, this filming, I should say, today is the 7th day, and I haven't returned the truck. I really like the truck, but anyway, she promises it to go smoother from now on. She gives me her best driver, and he calls me the morning of, about 2 hours early this time. Final delivery was on December 4th. And he says, I'll probably be there a little bit early today. Driver shows up about 10 minutes early. We do a little test drive. He puts the plates on the truck. He gives me the emailed registration. Take a very thorough look around the truck. We find some scratches. He takes some pictures to send to Silver Rock, and that's pretty much it. They took our old car, and our Corolla did have some scratches on it. He said, "Don't worry about that. It's not a big deal." They don't really pick. They're not super picky about like scratches, but the engine, it ran great, no problems with the clutch, the AC worked, no problems. It's just really small cosmetic stuff, so he said not to worry about it. So we loaded up our old Corolla on the flatbed, and we said bye to it, and that's it. That's it up to this point. They've emailed me the approval for the scratches. Actually, this morning I just took my truck to Mako to get those scratches fixed. That's the process so far. Has it been the smoothest? Absolutely not. Would I say it's on par with what you deal with in a single day at a dealership? Probably, because I've had some of my worst days of my entire life at car dealerships just trying to work with salesmen that just do not want to work with you. It's been a nightmare a couple times. So Carvana, my process was probably on par with that because it was extended over a week and a half, not just one day really bad, but it was like, like I said, a week and a half of just being uneasy, unsure, mad, very mad at the end of the process. But anyway, overall experience, would I recommend it to other people? Yes. They certainly, the manager, if it wasn't for the manager, I might have canceled. I was very close to canceling. Thankfully, she took it and she ran with it, and she made sure I was taken care of for those last 2 days. I wish she would have dealt with me all along. But they do have a referral program. So all you have to tell them when you're buying the car is Scott Goulet. That's my name. I'll put it on the screen right here. Tell them that. I'll give you either my email address or my phone number if you go ahead and leave a comment below, and you can get $500 off of your vehicle. I get a small $100 referral fee. It's just as easy as that. I did get my $500 off the truck just by telling Carvana about another friend that bought from our Carvana. So it was very smooth. That process was very smooth. One quick thing on the referral process, you have to call in to give him my name and potentially my phone number or my email. You cannot put it in online. There is no spot for it. So far, so good. I had the truck inspected by Toyota. They said it's pretty much spotless. No problems mechanically or otherwise. So I'm happy about that. Another thing, their appraisals are very generous. I actually, for whatever reason, I just went ahead and did both my cars, and both of the cars were above what, for example, Kelley Blue Book. They were both above Kelley Blue Book by a good margin. So even if you just want to sell your car to Carvana, they'll just come pick it up. That's it. No questions asked. They'll come pick it up as long as there's not a massive dent in it or something like that. They're very generous with their appraisal, so I'm very happy about that. and I think that's a pretty cool, pretty cool thing. There are no extra fees on top of the vehicle, so if you're wondering about if there's a dealer fee or something like that, no dealer fees, so that's pretty great. Overall, I would definitely recommend Carvana to friends and family. Like I said, I just wanted to tell you about my personal experience. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen to you. I just happen to have a not so great driver, and really from there, the process went haywire. But hopefully for you, the G-Reviews listener, you won't have that issue. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a big like and a big thumbs up. Please subscribe for more great content. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you on the next episode of G-Reviews to review that beautiful blue Tundra right there. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, guys.